Hot Rod Land, it's Phil coming to you once again from Carcraft Classics. Today we're taking a look at one of my personal vehicles, 2009 Chevy Corvette. But before we get started with that, for anybody maybe watching one of my videos for the first time, this is Carcraft Classics. We're located here in Cumming, Georgia at 321 Canton Road. We're about a half hour north of Atlanta and maybe 40 minutes from the airport. Phone number for the shop is 470-239-4977. My name is Phil. My personal cell number is 770-317-1415. We can also be reached via email at carcraftclassics@gmail.com. And be sure to visit us on the web at carcraftclassics.com. Now, if you're already a subscriber to our channel, we certainly appreciate it. If you're not, please subscribe. If you're into classic cars, classic trucks, we sell wheel and tire packages, neon signs, all kinds of cool novelty items for the hot rod enthusiast. And you may be asking yourself, what do you talk about hot rods and showing a Corvette? But the first thing I'll say about that is, this is my personal car. You're absolutely right. We normally focus on much older classic cars and trucks, but we're going to offer this one up for sale. And the other thing I'll say, I mean, this is a 2009, so what is it? It's already 15 years old, so it's not too far off from being a classic. And I've absolutely loved it for the month and a half that I've been driving it. And like I said, we're going to offer this one up for sale. Asking price on this vehicle is going to be $32,500. So this is a 2009, and for the Corvette enthusiast out there, you know the C6 has quite a following. This is the C6, the 6th generation Corvette. It ran from, I believe, 2005 to 2013, and in 2008, the C6 model underwent quite a redesign. They beefed up the suspension. They did a few things to it. But the biggest thing is that they moved from the 6.0 to the 6.2 size engine, 6.2 liter. It's an LS3 V8. So anything 2008 and newer in the C6 line got the LS3, which is one of these bulletproof GM motors that everybody loves, putting in even the old hot rods. But quite a performance piece there for this Corvette. So whenever I look at C6s, and I love the body style, I'm always looking for 2008 and newer. For just that reason, I like that 6.2. So I picked this car up about a month and a half ago, I think now, and it's just one that I picked up to tool around town in and have a little bit of fun. Every now and then I'll buy a newer car. I don't like the brand new stuff, but some of the early to mid 2000s models, Camaros, Mustangs, Corvettes, I do like them. They've got to be kind of a diamond in the rough. And what I mean by that, there's got to be something that sets them apart for me to gain some interest. And on this particular car, not only does it have a sparkling, clean Carfax, it's never been in an accident, it's all original, except for a few things we'll touch on as we go by. But, nobody's monkeyed around with the drivetrain. That's one of the biggest things for me. I don't like these cammed out Corvettes. I like to drive them, but as far as selling them, I feel like it raises suspicion. People are reluctant to buy a car when the engine's been cracked open. In this one, nobody has done anything to the engine, the transmission, the rear end, the exhaust. Everything is factory original. As I mentioned a moment ago, that's the original paint. Came from the factory in this beautiful black, and it's a triple black car. So that's the first thing that sets it apart. It is all original. Nobody's monkeyed with it. The other thing is, it's only got 23,000 miles. This thing has been completely babied since day one. I also had the GM option sheet pulled. It's a 1LT car, which for some people that want heated seats and heads-up display and all that fancy stuff, this car may not be for them. But for the person that's happy with the options that are listed and doesn't need those high-end options, I absolutely love this car. And when I'm driving around in a Corvette that doesn't have all those high-end options, I have a little less anxiety, because when those things break, boy, are they expensive to fix on Corvettes. So for me, this car, even though it's called a base 1LT car, it's still got the power windows, the power locks, the leather interior, the removable top. It's got that big engine I told you about, so it's plenty of power. It's got a beefed up suspension, it's got 4-wheel disc brakes, dual exhaust. It sounds great. It runs excellent. It's barely been broken in. So this car really appealed to me because, again, you know, nobody's messed with it. It's got very little mileage. Very hard to find a Corvette with 20-something thousand miles. It's 15 years old. So I figured I'd jump on it. It was local. It was down in McDonough, Georgia, and I believe it came from Florida originally. I can check the Carfax on that, but anyway, I believe it's been a Southern car all its life. Not 100% sure on that. I'll have to check. But with that low miles, babied car, I had to have it. And anyway, let's take a look at the car, and then I'll tell you some more about the details. Anybody who's had a Corvette, you know that's the emergency door open pull handle. We've got a super clean cargo area here, as you can see. Sorry about the shadows, but I will take pictures where there will be no shadows. You see this car really doesn't even show signs of wear, even though it is 15 years old. Again, the mileage is so low at 23,000. This baby's barely been broken in. Got that automatic trunk latch. Just touch it down and automatic system does the rest. Pin straight. The car did have some dull spots in the paint. Again, it is 15 years old. It had been driven some. So recently, I had my good buddy Jimmy from Auto Sparkle here in Cumming. I would say that if you need anything done to your car, things like buffing and polishing and really high-end detailing, Jimmy's great. He came in and did a stage 1 buff and polish I should say. Stripped down the paint a little bit and then buffed and polished it to just unbelievable shine. I'm sure you can see that in the video. We'll have this car listed with 70 plus pictures of the exterior, the interior, the undercarriage, everything here, and probably within 24 hours up on our website at carcraftclassics.com. So be sure to check that out. Click on the inventory page. There she is, the legendary LS3. Brand new, original to this car. 6.2 liter, as I mentioned, V8. One of the favorite engines for all these LS swapping maniacs out there. Everybody putting the modern drivetrain in their old classic. This is the go-to motor that everybody seems to like. Of course, it has all the creature comforts of a new car. It's got AC, it's got power steering, power disc brakes on all 4 corners. You can see the engine bay is like new. Brake booster, dual master cylinder. It's that beast of a motor. Intake. Fluids will be changed. I put a new cabin filter in it, new air filter. This baby's ready to roll. Still got the factory underhood insulated mat. All right, let's get that hood down. Nice light hood. Of course, it's a fiberglass car. This Corvette has always been. I think nowadays it's carbon fiber. That hood might even be carbon fiber for all I know. But as I mentioned, and I can't hammer this point home enough, this car has been babied since day one. This thing is gorgeous. You can see the front end. It's not all chewed up. Sometimes with these Corvettes, and I've had 6 or 7 of them, these Corvettes can really get nicked and scratched quite a bit on the front end. It's not perfect. There is a little nick right there. Hopefully you can see that. But anyway, it is near perfect because of the low mileage. But what I was beginning to say is the Corvettes, because they're so low in the front, they do tend, in my opinion, to take quite a beating on that front spoiler. And this car it's just not the case. Looks like a little bug spot there. Yep, that's all that is. No bug spot. Little bug splatter. Anyway, what's better than a black Corvette? I'm not sure there's anything out there. I love this car. Of course, the C6, in that year in 2005, they brought back the fixed headlights. And since then, they've always had a fixed headlight design. The C7 and 8 also has the fixed headlights. But I absolutely love those headlights. Maybe part of me likes them because the old school Corvettes that we sell, they're always giving us trouble, those flip-up headlights. But this thing is just beautiful. Again, as I mentioned, clean Carfax, has not been in any accidents. The paint, now that we've done that stage 1 buff and polish, is just spectacular. It looks like it's miles deep, just glistening in the sun, as pretty as it can be. Looks like there's a little bit of something. No, that's coming off too. All right, that's nothing there either. Okay, so near mint condition, I'd call it. Gloss in the paint is beautiful. Triple black car, black top, black exterior, black interior. Again, it's not a big cammed out crazy exhaust car. I like those too, but with this one, again, we were looking for something that was a little more factory. You know, maybe for the wife, maybe for the guy that, you know, like me, didn't want to mess around with too much of those extra features, worrying that maybe something would break. Very expensive to fix these Corvettes, so I'm really excited. I'm happy to have a base car. I don't need the heads-up display, and I don't need the heated seats. I live in Georgia, so this car is just perfect for me. And after Jimmy was done with that stage 1 buff and polish, I was looking at the car, and it had those stock base chrome 5-spoke wheels. They weren't terrible. Just, I'm off the chrome thing. I'm in a phase now where I like everything black, color matched. So I went out and I bought these wheels. These are C7 Corvette ZR1 replica wheels. They call it carbon black. Let's see if I can get you a better shot over here. That's a carbon black wheel in the stock size. We kept the tires. But that is, again, a C7 ZR1 Corvette wheel. And those are Michelin Pilot Sport tires with plenty of miles left on them. I think probably they have about 5,000 miles. So we've got an 18-inch wheel up front, and we've got a 19 in the rear. Again, that's the stock size with a replica wheel. Just gorgeous. And that carbon black, let's see if we can see it in the sun. That carbon black, if you look at it, it's got a little metallic in it. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but they sparkle a little bit more. You know, the paint is a 2-stage paint, of course, base coat, clear coat, but the paint on those wheels, yeah, and the paint on the car is not metallic, but the paint on the wheels got a little bit of a sheen and a sparkle to it. So it's a nice little contrast, but I love the ZR1 wheels. I thought it needed something to perk it up a little bit, and I couldn't be happier. I love the way it came out, and I love that I didn't have to buy tires, because they're not cheap for this car either. So if you're in the market for a C6, let us know. I mean, I've got a beautiful one here. Again, it's a 2009. It's got the 6.2 LS3 V8 connected to a 6-speed paddle shift if you want it, automatic transmission, stock rear end. I think it's got a 256 gear in the rear end, so she's ready for the highway or for cruising around town. Got the removable top here. Glass is all great. Everything works on the car. Car has no issues at all. That is the transparent top. I'll show you when we get on the inside, so you can see through it from the inside of the car, which is kind of cool. That's the only top I have. I don't have the painted black top. I'm not sure. I don't think it came with it, this particular model. But again, that's the transparent one. That is removable. I don't ever take it off, but it can be removed. It's another factory option. before we go any further and fire it up and show you the interior and all that, I put together a little window sticker here for the car, and I'm just going to rattle off some of the factory options because I'm sure I forgot something. So just bear with me. I'm going to skip over the stuff that I already told you about, like that 6.2 V8. So it's got still the factory dual exhaust with the polished tips. Again, I told you it's a 1LT trim package car. 4-wheel disc, power anti-lock brakes. Let's see what else we got here. Power steering. It's also got tilt steering. Let's see. It's got the FE1 factory suspension package on it. Optional 110 amp generator. Told you about the Michelin Pilot Sport tires. They're 245/40 and 280/35. Got the brand new set of carbon black C701 replica wheels. Ebony black interior. Power windows, power locks, leather wrapped steering wheel. It's got the dual zone electronic air conditioning. Upgraded touchscreen stereo. That's something I hadn't mentioned. The owner prior to me took out the stereo and put in a, I think it's a 7-inch touchscreen. I'll show you that in just a minute. But the touchscreen stereo now has like Android and Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth capability as well. It's got the navigation system. It also has the upgraded backup camera. All right, so you got the little backup camera, which they did not have in 2009. Let's see, stage 1, we talked about that. Got obviously tinted windows. Electrochromic mirrors. Had the fluids changed. It's got a clean Georgia title, clean Carfax, owner's manuals included as well, and that GM factory option listing that I mentioned. That'll be included as well. So again, I bought this car for me. I've put about 1,000 miles on it. I'll be driving it a little bit here and there when the sun is out. I don't drive it in the rain, but when the weather's nice, I may put a few more miles on it. But you're looking at a car that's going to have sub 25,000 miles, no matter if it sits here for a week or a couple months. I'm not going to put too many miles on it, but she is too pretty not to drive. There's those polished tips and the factory exhaust. Again, that's all original equipment. Look at that paint. They did a great job polishing this car. All right, so give me a quick minute. We'll be right back and we'll take a look at that interior. So we showed you the exterior on the Corvette. We showed you those beautiful carbon fiber wheels. A little bit of dust right there. Beautiful. Hopefully you can see that metallic paint that they used on there. Again, it's carbon black, but we've looked at the exterior, we looked under the hood, we looked in the cargo bay area in the back. Let's take a look on the inside. Like I said, the car's barely been broken in. Black interior. Everything in here is in great shape. Of course, it's got the sport bucket seats, like all Corvettes do. Seats are in great shape. I love the C6 interior. I like the 7 too, but the 7 was a little tight when I had it. The interior was just a little bit tight for my liking. This, much better. Let's see here if we can get the screen up here to show you the miles, the current mileage. Let's see. Fire this sucker up. There she goes. No check engine lights, no problems. This car is ready to roll. 23,305. Dash is in great shape. Of course, it's got the supplemental restraint systems. That's AKA. Thanks. Let's see here. So there's that little panel. Open area up there. really love this thing's got just a factory sound to it. All gauges are working, stereo's working. So see if we can get that backup camera. I'll show you. Here's the backup camera. Again, it's got the dual zone AC system, automatic transmission, overdrive with a 2.56 gear. Still got plenty good sound going. Even with the factory exhaust. Now I'll show you that. Still sounds awesome. You know, not everybody's into the crazy cam race bed, you know. I'm one of those people. Look at that transparent top. See out. This car also comes with King George title. Got. Bucket seat, little console bar. Let's go around to the passenger side. Of course, it's got, you know, remote keyless entry. As long as you have the key in your pocket, just reach in and touch the door handle. But if you don't have the key, whether it's locked or unlocked, the door will not open. She's gorgeous and nice and clean. Nice and clean. Power windows, power locks, tilt cruise, AC, automatic transmission. It's got it all. Alright, so there's your 2009 Corvette. Automatic transmission, just 23,000 miles. New wheels, new stereo, new polish and buff job. She's ready for her debut. Anybody in the market for a super clean C6 Corvette, please give me a call. Again, the asking price for the car is $32,500, $32,500. We can help with financing. We can also help with light customization. If there's something you want to do to the car, just let me know. And lastly, we can also help with shipping. So anywhere in the lower 48 states, we can put this car right in your driveway. It's not a problem. Just give me a holler and I'll be glad to give you a shipping quote. We can ship it enclosed. We can ship it on an open trailer to save you a few bucks. You let us know. And as I mentioned earlier, there's going to be 70 plus pictures of this car on our website on the inventory page, carcraftclassics.com, and details about the car, full ad, and a link to this video. So check us out. I want to thank you very much, everybody, for watching. God bless America.